COVID-19 is not only a disease pandemic, like I tell everybody, like I tell my friends and everybody. It's a crisis bus carrying a lot of evil with it. Hello and welcome to Untitled 360 Solutions, a platform created to respond to everyday life issues, profile solutions, and showcase the lifestyles of Africans to the world. We have so far managed to sail through stronger tides, with you helping in the engine turbines, which steadies and throttles us to a great sail. We want to thank you very much for staying tuned, for always being there for us. That's why I would also want to urge you watching me right now to help this channel stay alive by clicking the subscribe button right now. Thank you so much if you just did. Alright, moving forward. In this episode, Untitled 360 Solution brings to you a template digest of selected persons within Africa and abroad who, because of COVID-19 and the emerging new normal, the emerging new way of life, the new way of survival, a new way to stay safe, and a new way of doing things entirely, these people have decided to share with us how they have been coping with the challenges ushered by COVID-19. Today we are going to be listening to these brilliant minds from different walks of life, and we hope their experiences would somehow resonate and reach out to all of us positively to get the needed fruition to staying alive. COVID-19 is not only a disease pandemic, like I tell everybody, like I tell my friends and everybody. It's a crisis bus carrying a lot of evil with it. I, for one, have been struggling to get back to normal, as it were. It's been chaotic. Nothing feels same or right anymore. We keep hearing in the news that contagion and infection from this has never been seen ever, meaning COVID-19 is one of the worst, if not the worst pandemic to hit the world in our lifetime. No sickness or disease has ever shut down everything anthropogenic in this world the way COVID has. Not even the Spanish flu of the early 20s. This is for a fact the worst enemy of planet Earth. Like I said earlier, folks, nothing is working. In fact, nothing works like it used to. Everybody's scared of everything. Nothing feels safe, and that's a bad place for humanity. My experience, though, is cut across the need to stay healthy and also for my family and I to survive without starving, in terms of finding what to eat, medication, cooking gas, drinking water, toiletries, and so on and so forth. This for sure is the irony of our lives in this COVID season and in this new normal, as we term it, as we call it. But this is what I call surviving on the wings of risk and caution. Now, COVID-19 came in strongly for me in two phases. The first phase is the fear of getting infected, obviously, following up on all preventive guidelines to staying alive, keeping up with hygiene and safety routines, social distancing, travel restrictions, intermittent rise and fall in the prices of goods, especially household stuffs, curfews and proper lockdowns is one of the worst hits for me. I am now a prisoner and a warden in my own house. Zero hangouts, zero basketball sessions, no church. The second phase for me is what I term the discovering myself more phase. This phase immediately kicked in during the complete shutdown of activities. I am only left with myself since my family is still far away and can't move due to these travel restrictions. Normal routines stopped for me and a new phase of what to do now kicked in. Boredom, plenty sleeps. Television has now become COVID vision. No channel on TV says anything different. Cases upon cases, deaths, decline in world trades and businesses due to COVID-19, and so on and so forth. I just couldn't deal. I just can't deal, like my wife would say. I just can't deal. But wait, let me explain this before all of you will misconstrue all I've been saying. This is not a post-COVID video, so let's not begin to think like everything is over and this is a post-COVID video. This is not a post-COVID video because a lot of things are going on out there that we Nigerians right now, because it's a bit calm, we just may not believe. Okay, that being said, I became at a point very unuseful to myself. I just felt caged and unproductive. I am not the type of person that enjoys just staying in one place without doing something. I can't be idle. Boredom will scream into my ears until I go deaf. Anyways, weeks after, I began to think more like I always do, but this time more intense. My laptop became my new friend, not the COVID vision. I mean, the television. I began to meditate more, pray more, fast more, and now began to surf the internet for great content, reading widely. I am currently on 2 online courses running concurrently, and if that was not enough, I now discovered this great guy online who goes by the name Wesley $1 Billion Virgin. Wow, such an awesome guy. I also became friends with 2 YouTube sensations. I don't know if you know them, but these guys are dope. These guys are really dope. Ayo Aina and Dina Equipment. Very dope guys on YouTube. I have learned how to build and host a website. I am working on my website right now. I started and have finished an editing course online just yesterday. This is just to mention a few. I have seriously learned a lot during this lockdown. I don't know if to say that the gains outweigh the pains and challenges caused by COVID. I really can't say right now until all of this is over. But I know I have not been the same in all ramifications during this COVID season. Let us listen to our first participant, my good friend, Mr. Mike Okwoche.
Hi, I am Mike Okwoche, and I'm a broadcast journalist in Lagos, Nigeria. Well, COVID-19 has impacted lives and had a great effect on the way we live and the way we do a lot of things around the world and in our daily activity. For me personally, I started from the office, and we had to scale down on the way we do our work. Where 2 persons had to combine to do a presentation, we had to scale it down to 1 person. And then where we had 2 producers or 4 producers, we had to scale down and then have to run shifts so that we don't have too many people doing the thing at the same time. So we don't have a convergence of so many people at the same time. So it's really quite interesting. It is not easy, but it is a new way of seeing things now, the new normal, as you would say, and we're getting used to it. Then one other thing is the consciousness of hygiene. In fact, my first daughter is just about 2 years, and when I get home from the office, she says, "Daddy, go and wash your hands. Daddy, go and wash your hands." She's that conscious because I and my wife have been able to instill that hygiene consciousness in them and everyone in the house. So we do all of that. When you get home from the office, you go wash your hands first, take your bath first before you hug anyone, before you say hello to anyone, in having contact with family members in that regard. So it's really it's a new way of doing things now. It is something we didn't think it was going to be very possible or easy to do. Then one other thing that has become normal to us now is everything moving online. I attend meetings, conferences, in fact all the ones I couldn't have attended before. Sometimes 2-3 times I'm online for one webinar or the other. So it's quite interesting. It's a new way of seeing things now, and sometimes even those meetings, they clash, running at the same time. So you have to balance between which one you have to attend and record the other one, and things like that. And then another issue there is I'm an associate lecturer, so I conduct my lessons just like some other lecturers online. I meet my students now online, which is a new normal, and I guess that has come to stay one way or the other until schools resume, which will go back to. But this tells us now that we can do a lot of things easier now, because months ago, if we thought of doing this, it would have been seen as an impossible thing. But here it is. It is possible, and we're doing it. So I guess this will go a long way to impact our lives. Some things have come to stay, especially the online activity, or the online world, as the case may be, has come to stay, and that's going to be different going forward. So we're getting used to them, and some of them are interesting, some of them are just a way, with time people will get used to it. So it's quite interesting. All right, let's all stay safe. The new normal has come to stay. Let's stay safe and be hygiene conscious. That is the most important thing.
That's wonderful, Mr. Michael Kwache. I'm very grateful you could actually find time to be on our platform. You always come through for me, and I'm very grateful. Thank you for your submission. Thank you for sharing. Okay, can we now connect to Makurdi, where we have Ivy standing by? Ivy, good day. Please, can you share with us how you're coping with COVID-19?
Hi guys, my name is Ivy, aka Ivy Shan, aka your number one hair growth doctor. As a small business owner, and I think that I speak for most small business owners across the globe, we are definitely feeling the financial crunch that the restrictions of COVID-19 has brought. And by restrictions, I mean the ban on interstate travel, the ban on international travel, like basically no movement, That's like never in a million years would I have thought that there will be a time when the whole world as we know it would significantly change. And the truth is, we have come to a realization that COVID-19 is here to stay. So the best thing we can do right now is look for ways to cope. So how do you cope as a small business owner? One thing that I have learned is having an online presence, a strong online presence for your business is very, very important, because everywhere might be closed, no movement, the internet never sleeps. The internet is always open, and that is a way to reach your customers across the globe. I know that it was something that we already knew. If you start a business, you definitely come across people who would advise you have to have an online presence and all that. But I think the COVID-19 just made it even more critical. So now you know that it's important to have an online presence. I think that's one thing I'm taking away with me for COVID-19. So while we're all coping with this COVID-19, do not forget your civic duty. You shouldn't be a part of the problem. You should be a part of the solution. So don't forget, when you're going out, go out with your face masks, have your hand sanitizers, and stay safe and stay blessed. All right? Bye.
Okay, that's awesome, Ivy. I'm very grateful you could actually have time for us. Now let's listen to my friend in Canada who actually wants to share on how he's coping with COVID-19. Let's join up with Randy.
Hello. Good day. My name is Randy Adamu Shamaki. I reside in Markham, Ontario, Canada. I'm a process assistant with Amazon. Well, basically, the pandemic, right? The pandemic, that's a new normal. Yeah, in Canada, right? The government actually helped us by providing some funds for us. So funds were not actually low for us. But for me, I work with essential services, so it was great. We made more money. Wifey took the benefits from the government, which was $2,000 a month, but I earned more than that, so I decided not to take it. It was okay for us. It was a money-making time for us, right? But then I was basically bathing with sanitizers. Like, if you see my hands, every single moment I was bathing with sanitizers. And then I had a bag downstairs. Once I get into the floor, I basically take off all my clothes. I take all my clothes downstairs and walk straight to the bathroom, take my bath before going to meet my wife and my lovely daughter. But basically the pandemic was okay for us because the government stepped in. I don't know how it was for others and everything, but one thing I learned also was get yourself into the essential services, because anything else you're doing, the government can just shut down at any moment and they'll be like, stay at home. work remotely. But if you're in the essential services, then you're still on the job, you're still making money, you're still good, All right, that's my 2 cents about the whole thing. Stay safe.
Okay, that's great. Now let's go to Kaduna, where I have a very good friend, a mentor, and somebody who has been there for me over the years, Mr. Kasim Abubakar.
My name is Kasim. I live in Kaduna, Nigeria. I work as a school administrator and also as an entrepreneur. Naturally, I would say I'm creative and versatile. How have I been coping with COVID-19? For me, it has been a remarkable and positive experience. I had the opportunity to explore my abilities to full capacity. Economically, as an entrepreneur, I wasted no time venturing into production of a mask. At some point, as a school principal, I had to mobilize my teachers for online teaching. This is to enable us continue teaching our students and their pupils. Socially, the COVID-19 lockdown availed me the opportunity to bond more with my family. I don't keep many friends, so the social media took care of reaching out to the very few that I have. Health-wise, I try to follow all the regulations as it relates to handling the COVID-19 disease. I try to do a lot of exercise early in the morning. I take a walk with my kids. This wasn't possible before the COVID, as we have to all prepare to go to work and to also be in school. Finally, as much as I will say I am doing well in this present situation, happenings around the world make me feel sad from time to time. Many are dying from this disease. Many are getting infected on a daily basis. Economies are crumbling, and a lot of people are losing their jobs. At the end of the day, I believe that we shall win against COVID. Stay positive.
Somebody who has been very supportive, somebody whom I call on all the time and is always very willing, to jump on the train with me to do what I'm doing, so long as it's positive. And I'm very happy you're here today, Mr. Kasim. Okay, can we now listen to Tolu in Aberdeen, Scotland? Tolu, please, can you share with us how you're coping with COVID-19?
I live in Aberdeen. Aberdeen is in Scotland, in the UK. And I've got 2 jobs. I work in the city council as a technical officer, and I work in the shop as a retail staff. I have been dealing with the pandemic. Personally, I don't worry too much about a situation I can't fix, a situation I have no control over. I worry about what I can do in any situation, such as how my family is faring, how I'm faring, how to combine my job with being a mom, being a wife, and everything else in my life. And how I've been doing that is, when the pandemic first started, we had to homeschool. I had my job because I've been working from home ever since. I'm still working from home, and I have another job that I have to go to every Saturday. So when it first started, it was quite tough. It was quite too much, but I had a rota. I made a timetable for the kids, when to do their schoolwork, when to do my work, when to have a break, and having that timetable helped bring everything together. It helped fix everything. It wasn't perfect, but there was a routine. Everybody had a routine. Everybody know when to do what and when not to do what. So that helped quite well. The other thing I've been doing less of is I watch the news just once a day, because there's so much not so good things happening around. So I minimize how much of the news I watch. I watch the news maybe once a day when the kids are upstairs or not around, because I don't want them catching the bad vibe. So so pretty much that's what I've been doing during lockdown. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, now good. Let's go to Lagos, where I have my three friends standing by. I have Tommy, I have Gerard, I have Sekaf actually in Lagos standing by to give us their own account.
Hello everyone, my name is Timilola. I'm an operations manager and I reside in Lagos. I'm talking about how I've coped in this period. This current COVID-19 pandemic has heightened our uncertainty over the economy, employment, finances, and of course our mental and physical health. And we are not different to how much uncertainty we can tolerate at this time. Because as human beings, we crave security. We want to feel safe. We want to have a sense of control over our lives and well-being. And that is why I'll be sharing these two tips on how I've coped in this period. First is I focus on the things that are under my control, because by focusing on the things that I can still control, it helps you move from ineffective worrying to active problem solving. For example, I'm concerned about my health in this coronavirus, so I took actions by regularly washing my hands, cleaning surfaces, wearing my face mask, avoiding crowded areas, and of course looking out for vulnerable family, friends and neighbors. So if you have lost your job or income in this difficult time, you still have control over how much energy you channel into searching online for work, networking with your contacts and sending resumes. Of course, I know that not all circumstances are the same, and in some circumstances you realize that all you can control is just your attitude and your emotional response, and that is perfectly okay. But it's better to know that your mindset is key to coping with difficult circumstances and facing the unknown. My second tip is that I challenge my insecurities. How do I do this? I respond to the what ifs running through my head by acknowledging that I am not a fortune teller and I don't know what can happen. So all I do now is just I shift my attention and focus on the solvable worries. However, if you feel overwhelmed by uncertainty and worry, I want you to know that you are not alone in this boat. It's also important to realize that no matter how hopeless or helpless you feel, there are steps you can take to deal with uncontrollable circumstances and face the unknown with confidence. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hello everyone, my name is Uzezi Gerard Igelige. I'm a banker. I work with one of the foremost microfinance bank, and of course most of our businesses are in Lagos. So COVID-19, it came and we have to do a lot of strategies to see how we can blend with the current trends. Following up some of the guidelines that are prescribed by the NCDC, and of course we have to develop some of our work flow system. We have to tweak a lot of our processes in order to get businesses done, and it's been a very wonderful experience because we need to automate some of those processes. Unlike before, we manually do some of those things, but most of them have come under a lot of automation. So it's a reality that we have to live with for this period of time, and I'm sure we will try to see how best to get some of our actions, especially in terms of our work processes, in check. One of the things that we would like to take away from the period of COVID-19 is that a lot of job will be going online, a lot of actions, activities, they will come online, and we may have to develop some strategies to see how we can have a work balance between our personnel and our skill knowledge, especially as it concerns this period. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's a wrap actually. I'm so grateful that all of you could actually come on board to share. At first I thought it was going to be very hard to get all of you on board, but I'm very grateful you all saw the need to come and share so you can help everybody listening and watching. We've learned a lot from this episode. I for one have learned majorly this online presence. So very, very useful online, something that hits home very well for me. And also the safety guidelines. Staying safe is also something very vital. You don't stay safe, how are you going to achieve the goals that we're just talking about right now? So I'm very, very impressed by every contribution. Please, I want to thank all of you for having time to come on my platform. If you're new here and you find this video helpful, I would want to urge you to subscribe to my channel. And if there's any question you want to ask us on what you've seen in this video, please go down the comment section and express yourself. My name is Fred Ikba from Untitled 360 Solutions. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.